Hello, good afternoon. Hi, my name is Frankie Kington, known as the Wise Entrepreneur. And my guest speaker this afternoon is a dear friend of mine. He's called Corey Woollam, and he's an amazing guy. Hi, Corey, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad, Frankie. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine, pal. Yeah, I'm really glad that you're on my YouTube channel. I'm not doing a video today. I'm really
Honestly,
looking forward to interviewing you, mate. You know, I know it's going to be a great interview. And yeah,
I honestly appreciate you having me on there. It means a lot. Thank you for inviting me
very
on.
welcome, Corey. You're a top guy, and I want to show you off a little bit, you know, so that people know who you are. So, Corey, tell us a bit about yourself, Corey Woollam. Tell us a bit about yourself, please.
Well, my name is Corey Woollam. I'm 22 years old from Manchester. Basically, I do rap stuff, not your casual sort of day-to-day rap. It's more about life, and I'm getting into life situations that I've been through and gonna start to explain why I've started doing it, you know, with my music and stuff, sort of. And also I'm planning to do an album as well soon enough. It's going to be called Mental Institution of My Mind, and that is basically just to explain all the bad scenarios, stuff I've been through, what to make me who I am, sort of thing. But the reason I'm passionate about rapping is because when I felt like I had nothing and I was in a really dark place, I started writing music, and it was sort of a way to vent from all my problems in real life, because I would literally, some days, I won't lie, I'll sit there on my phone, put an instrumental on, and I'll be rapping to my phone, looking in it like, and then, pardon me, that feeling you get personally, it's an amazing sort of feeling. It feels like sort of my energies have been lifted a bit, like I'm not feeling down in the drought anymore, feel better about myself. And that's why I started. It was more of a coping mechanism at first, you know, to get everything off my mind. I didn't know how to open up to people, stuff like that. So this is sort of how I used my sort of venting from anger, sadness, all that. And when when I did my first music video, I must say, it brought a feeling, an absolute amazing feeling. As you probably know, you've seen how I was when I was first showing you. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Feeling of achievement then, Corey, yeah? Because I've seen your video, I thought it was a great video. So it's a feeling of achievement, a feeling of you've achieved something that you want to achieve, which will make you go on to achieve even more. Would you say that is, Corey?
Exactly. See, at first with music, I started at 16. I wasn't too serious with it. I released a few tracks on SoundCloud, thought, see how it goes. I won't lie, I didn't go the best, but at first I thought it was going to stop me. But I told myself, no, this is what helps me. I'm going to make something out of this life. I can't, because it's not also that, it's doing the day-to-day over and over and over again. I think starts to make me think, oh, there's a lot more to life.
Yeah.
A lot more to life. Sorry, I've got a bit of a bad throat.
It's okay, don't worry about that. We can hear you, we can understand you.
No worries.
So, Corey, I think you're doing amazing with what you do as a rapper. I think it's a real art, isn't it, rapping? It's a real art, and I know a lot of people use music in general and rap music as a way to escape from kind of like depression or feeling a bit down, or releases some anger. Do you relate to that? I mean, what I like, there's different types of rap music, isn't it? We can have some hard rap, hardcore rap, and we can have some rap where there's people who there's a little bit of maybe anger, a bit of bad language or derogatory words. You don't come across like that, Corey. Was that challenging for you? How did you find that as a rapper? Did you find that challenging, or was that easy for you to actually do that and actually produce music like that? How did you find that? How did that help?
If I'm honest, I didn't think, I was a bit worried. I was like, what if my music isn't gonna go up because it's not hot topic, or what's going on and all that. So far, I used to think like that, but then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna do it differently. I'm not gonna follow no one. I'm not gonna be no copycat. I'm just gonna do me. And I'll tell you what, the honestly easiest thing to do is just be yourself. If you do music, be yourself. Don't try and jump on what's going on. So like you could say, for example, drill. If that's a sort of hot topic, I wouldn't personally jump on that, just to get my name up. Or rather, as they say, keep it real.
That's fantastic, Corey. I like what you said there. To be unique, I think it's really important as well, Corey, is not to be distracted by what everybody else is doing. You have a gift. Everybody has gifts, and you've got to be focused on what you need to do and to be unique and authentic. Because at the end of the day, when you're unique and you're authentic, you will stand out amongst a crowd, and people will see that genuine, that heart-to-heart, genuine Corey. Woollam, as a rapper, they'll know that you come across as real, keeping it real, like you say, keeping it authentic and being unique to who you are, and being true to who you are as well, because your heart will come across it in the music. I think that's really important.
It really is, because the other reason why it's important is because you get, let's say if you got your name up, and then people start asking you questions, did you really do this? Did you really do that? And then you're going to have someone who knows that you didn't do it. And then it's probably could ruin your reputation. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's not rapping about what he's really doing. That's why I like to speak from a heart, emotion, mind. It might sound a bit, it might not be the most uplifting music, but I can happily say I wrote that from the heart and mind, because that's what I've learned to do. That's what I want. I want people to know my story, not a fake image of how I live. I'm not going to go on rapping, oh yeah, you have a big, nice, fancy life, I'm all happy and everything, because then that'd just be blatantly lying. I am, don't get me wrong, the past few months, I've realised I've sort of, as you could say, I've worked on myself spiritually. Like, I had to find myself and stuff.
That's amazing. And I like what you say, you don't have to come across as like some kind of TV soap drama. You want to come across as which is real, and people can feel it. And this is my life, and it's real. And this is how I've lived my life. And this is where I'm up to now. And this is what I'm going to do. And I want you to understand my life. That it hasn't all been rosy posy and, fantasy and materialistic. It's been hard work and doom and gloom. Of really, like you said, you've had to work on yourself and find yourself, like finding music in your life, which is really important. Finding the music in your life, finding the music within yourself. That's where your happiness is. That's where your joy is going to be come out of your own life. Yeah. So, Corey, who inspires you then? Because you rap. Who encourages you to rap? Have you got any people you look up to as rappers?
I'll begin with how it started. I used to listen to Manchester's Bugsy Malone, and I liked it. Started listening to his music. I know obviously he isn't in the same sort of outlook on music as I am, because he's lived different lives. We've lived different lives. He lived on the road and stuff like that. I don't do any of that, so I can't obviously say that. But he did inspire me, because he was from Manchester. He is from Manchester, and he made something big out of himself. And I used to look at music as it's only in America, Hollywood, stuff like that. But when I seen someone from my hometown do it, I was like, wow, I'll do this. I can do this. But as I got on with music and stuff, I won't lie, I sort of drifted away from him. I still like his music, but there's a guy, American rapper, Canadian rapper, should I say, called Dax, and he talks about, there was a song he's made called Self-Proclaimed, and it basically says in it, forget what everyone else is going to say about you. You do you. You be self-proclaimed for what you want to be. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. That's basically the moral of the song, innit? and it's inspired me a lot. And that's when I really came out of my shell with my emotions and stuff. I thought, right, really got to do this. Really got to do this, and I've got to keep it. And he did help me in a dark place as well, because I went through a place where I had a lot of self-doubt. I was insecure, didn't really well go out the house. I didn't feel like I had much to give to everyone and stuff like that. But then I listened to him, and then I sort of that's when I started looking into more myself spiritually, not just physically, because to be physically okay, you've got to be spiritually and mentally okay.
I love that. I love that. Because
Yeah.
I do spirituality, you know that, don't you, Corey? I'm a Buddhist
Yeah.
leader. As you know, I practice Buddhism. So I'm a spiritual leader. So I know the importance of spirituality in the world today as well, Corey. Because spirituality is going to play a really major part in people's happiness and well-being. And like you, Corey, people now are seeking for a deeper meaning in their lives. People are wanting to know who they really are.
Exactly.
Spirituality will help you to delve deep within your own life and reveal that qualities and that diamond, you know, what needs to just be polished. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
You're polishing your diamond. I'm polishing my diamond through spirituality. And I believe that's going to play a massive part in people's health and well-being and happiness on the planet. So we are spirits in the material world, aren't we, Corey? That's what you are.
Yeah.
Like the song says, I believe spirits in the material world. That is what we are. And that's really important that you grasp that, Corey, because that will be a real route to your success and for you to be this amazing person what you are, because it will keep you very grounded and level-headed. And that's what we need, don't we, society nowadays, to be grounded, level-headed. Yeah. So
that's if you go to want manifestation as well of good things. Exactly. You want the man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Bugsy Malone, yeah, I've heard of Bugsy Malone. I think I've heard of the guy as well from Salford. I think it's called Red Venom. Have you heard of Red
Venom? I've heard of him. I've not really listened to his music though. I've not been. I'll be honest. I'll definitely give him a listen. But what it is with me, I've not really. It's going to sound really selfish, but I've not really been focusing on other people's work and stuff. I will get to it. I'm just so busy. My mind's so stuck up in my own writing the lyrics, constructing new lyricism and different flows and stuff. And different things. So that's why
the way you talk, Corey, about spirituality and the flow, going with the flow, keeping in the flow of the music that's going on around you. That's really important, you know, being around the right energy, around the right people, Corey, you know. And I know you're a sensible guy like that, and you're definitely going in the right direction. That's one thing I know. So, name some of your albums, Corey. What songs have you done? What's your favourite song?
I've only released 2 at the moment because I'm coming back with something soon, but can't tell anyone that yet. It'll come when it comes. You can't just put it all out there in music. You got to surprise them with something, and
Exactly. Yeah, you got to keep people intrigued. You know, you can't give away too much because you know you give away all, don't you? So you know you got to keep people intrigued, keep people interested in you, and you know really curious about what you do and what you're going to do next, and how you're going to develop. Yeah, and you're a role model, Corey. You are a role model. Yeah.
Thank you.
Besides music, what role models do you look up to, Con? You look up to anybody besides music? Who would you like to meet?
Oh, I'll be honest. I'd like to meet Tom Hardy one day. He's one of my favourite actors.
My daughter loves Tom Hardy. Great actor.
Yeah. He is an amazing actor. See the sort of emotion and proper heart he puts in it, and that's what I love about it. And he's always he knows how to play a role perfect. I'll be honest, my favourite one was Legend. Do you know where he plays as the Cray twins? That was awesome.
Incredible.
It is an incredible film, I won't lie. I do love it, mate. It's one of my favourite films.
I know my daughter likes Tom Hardy. Don't you think Paul Woodcock from where we work, that new guy called Paul who works at our place, don't you think he looks like Tom Hardy?
He does a bit. Yeah, he
No,
does.
I'm
He
on
actually
about, yeah,
works.
yeah. I've told him that as well. So,
Did you?
yeah, if he's watching this, I've given him a shout now, Paul Woodcock. So, yeah, he reminds me of Tom Hardy. Yeah, there's so many people who I know who look like so many different characters. So many people I know. I know a lot of people say they look like certain people. So I don't know, but that's other people's opinions, But
Yeah, that's it.
yeah. So where do you see yourself then, Corey, in the next, let's say the next 5 or 10 years? Have you got a plan to where you see yourself? Because I see yourself as an up and coming rapper, somebody who can really make a difference to people's lives. Where's your vision then in 5 or 10 years? Where do you see yourself?
In 5 or 10 years, I see myself in a not no fancy big 4-bedroom house, but a nice house. At least one. I'm planning to get at least silver plaques. I can't think too big, but I will. I hope I do get gold, and I will, and I'll keep my mind and vision to it. But I just where I see myself is just living peaceful, not exactly no stress, because obviously you've got to. It's going to be work and work. The more work you make, the more work you do, the more work is made. So if you know what I mean by that. So I think I'll be a really busy person in 5 years, but very happy and wealthy enough to not have to exactly stress. But I'd say, yeah, see myself in a really good place with good few songs out, 3 or 4 albums maybe. But
I
as
see
long
it
as
going that way.
yeah,
I like the way you
definitely.
said that. I like the way you put it across, because sometimes,
Yeah,
we can get too kind of bogged down on involved in too many materialistic, aspects of our life, when sometimes we
definitely.
just need a nice house, a roof over our head, a nice family, to go on holiday, to eat and eat and feed my family. Sometimes that's all
Food
we
on the
need,
table.
Yeah. Then if anything else
Definitely.
comes along, that's a bonus and a gift for all our hard work. But I think
Yeah,
it's important, Corey, start somewhere. Start at the bottom and you gradually work your
yeah.
way up. You start to see these amazing people coming into your life. And the fact you know about
Exactly.
spirituality as well, your spirituality will guide you and move your life in the direction where it needs to go. So you're on the right
Definitely.
track there, Corey. You're really on the right track. So, Corey,
Thank
what
you.
was it like growing up for you? Do you have any brothers or sisters? What's your family like? Do you get on with your family? How do they feel about you? Are they supporting you? Are they inspiring you? Do they like what you do? But I think it's really important as well to have your family behind you in whatever it is that you do.
Definitely.
Do they see it as a role model?
Well, my family, they do support me in what I do. They've never really doubted me. And I've got friends there that support me a lot, and they also do what I do. So we sort of help each other, both positive and negative opinions, how we can work on ourselves. Growing up for me though, it's crazy. It wasn't easy anyway. We didn't have the best clothes. We didn't have the best style, this and that. It wasn't really straightforward. Mum and dad, happy family and everything. But I remember when I was about 9 years old. That's when my mum and dad sort of split up. And I remember just being stood there in the middle of them shouting at each other. I just didn't know what to do. My brothers are there and everything, and it's just crazy. But after my mum left for a bit, it was just me, me brothers, my sister, and my dad. And basically, we didn't have the best because my dad, even though he'd barely shown it, he was struggling, and he only realised that as I got older. He always kept his head up for us, and that's what I'll always love him for, because I know I could imagine how hard it was for him. But in school, I wouldn't say I had a reputation or I was popular, because kids can be cruel. Like,
Exactly. Yes.
yeah. And it's because when I was younger, it was bad. I used to have the skin condition acne. I still do now. It still comes back now
I've
and
got
then.
eczema myself, so I know what you mean by there, Corey. I know what you mean there.
Yeah. and I used to really get bullied for it. Like, I mean, it carried on till about, I'd say, year 10. And then that's when I sort of just kept myself to myself, didn't bother anyone. No one really bothered me. So I was that sort of kid, innit? But I went through a thing when I was about 13, which I'm not really going to go deep into detail about for reasons, but basically the police put me on 7 months house bail for a false accusation, which never happened, from my cousin, which you'll learn about in my music, because that's why sometimes you hear me say, like, oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, phone call. Sorry about that. And basically, I went off a bit off track then. Yeah. I went a bit off track. That's just totally distracting me. I'm so
No, it's
sorry.
not a problem. So it's basically when you talked about the police, you got accused for false accusations. Is that right, with the police? You tried to accuse of something you didn't do. Was that right?
Yeah.
And we've all been
that's
down
correct.
down that track. Yeah.
That's correct. And basically, what happened with that, I had to. As a kid, I felt really embarrassed because I was in year 9, so that's about 14. Was that about 13, 14? I can't remember exactly, but my dad had to walk us to school because of what happened. And then I felt embarrassed because I thought, no one in my year is walking with the parents. It's not like primary school anymore. It sort of felt embarrassed, but nothing against my dad sort of thing. But
because he loved
after
you,
that,
looking out for you, trying to protect you.
yeah,
that's great.
Well, yeah, he had to come in for a meeting.
Yeah.
He had to come in for a meeting as well, and we got told that me and my brother, because my brother was involved with it, he got the false accusation as well. We had to get separated into different, like, what they call proofs, which is where kids go when they've been not like bad behaved. So I thought, I shouldn't really be here. I've not done anything wrong. Why am I here? And then they said it's for reasons I won't go into, because then obviously it will sort of open a book then, and don't want to do that. But I felt like that made me feel more of an outcast than anything, because it was only about 2 weeks ago I was sat in a police cell wondering what's going to happen with me because of this thing. I had an interview and then they just put us on house arrest. We had to go to there every day. And it wasn't nice, because there was one time I went there and there was this kid that was bigger. I mean, he was taller, he was broader than me as well. And I don't know if he was messing or something, but he come behind me, put me in a chokehold, and I nearly passed out. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know anyone there. I was just like, ugh. But that was that all got over and done with because the charges got dropped, because they realised that I was actually innocent, I'd not done anything. And that was the worst 7 months of my life, I will say.
Wow. And Corey, you've come through that. What did that teach you, Corey? Because I've learned lessons like that myself. I've been through lessons like that myself, but I've had to really learn. What did that teach you, Corey? What did you get from that? What experience did you learn from
that? At the time, it was more of a negative aspect, not to sort of trust people anymore, because even your own family can turn on you. But then I realised as I got older that the lesson I really learned is just don't fully open up to people, take your time with them, and then you've got to give them a chance. You can't just jump to that conclusion, oh yeah, I have trust issues, I can't trust you, we don't know you, I don't trust you. You have to give that sort of time, build up your judgment, and sort of, you can't take it as a judgment to them though. You've sort of got to learn about them, and then you tell them. It's like if I met someone who I didn't think I was really taking a liking to, say, look, to be honest, I've noticed this and this and about you, I can't trust you, that's just how it is. But if people say, like, you, Frankie, like when I met you, like realised I could trust you and everything. You're proper down to one of the most down to earth guys I've ever met, and most welcoming. And that really, I think, in that case, by the way, that really helped me to adapt to work easier because of how like friendly, sort of arms open you were and stuff with me.
Thank you, Corey. I really appreciate that. I felt that with you because it's really important, Corey. What I've learned as I've got older, around about the age of 27, 28, I don't want to put anybody down or disrespect people. That's not what it's about. But I think, Corey, at that age where you're at, because you're a young lad, aren't you, Corey? You're not probably reached 28, 30 yet. But I think when you get to that age, you realise, right, I'm either going to go up or I'm going to go down. And sometimes you've got to look at your life, and sometimes you've got to change everything in your life. I've had to do that, either my faith, my beliefs. I've had to change everything and really look at myself and say, you know what? I've got to change. I've got some bad habits. I don't like how I am. You know, maybe people don't respect me because I don't respect or love myself. Now I'm beginning to love myself. People begin to respect and love me for who I am. And I think that's really important for me, you know. Lessons, you know, these life lessons teach us something about, you know, being the best Corey or the best Frankie that I can be. And I've got to work on myself through self-development, education, motivation, associate with the right people and getting the right education. That's my dynamic dream forward. What I talked to you there about, Corey, how I've transformed and changed my life. But sometimes, you have to take the rough with the smooth, the yin with the yang, the positive with the negative, you know, so that you can understand what it's like to have nothing or to like the have-nots, to having what you want to have for your life. So, you know, sometimes life is a challenge, it's a journey like that we've got to go through to really discover who we are. And I feel that every person who I've met along the way or I've known has played a major part in my life to make me the person I am today. Because I've had a lot of demons to battle with, drink, drugs, and racism, and probably feeling like I'm not fitting in, Corey. And I thought to myself, hold on a minute, it may be that I'm not supposed to fit in. Me and yourself, Corey, we're supposed to stand out and be that model for other people. Does that make sense, Corey?
That makes 100% sense. Yeah, I know what you mean. Definitely.
Because Corey went through a stage of my life where I just keep getting away with things, or I keep, you know, cheating death, or I keep getting out of scrapes, or this and that. And I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe there's something more meaning to my life than sitting here doing drink and drugs and fighting and doing what you do and blaming the world for all my problems. Maybe I might have to look at myself and have the courage for me to transform my life. And that isn't easy, is it, Corey? Because you know what like, we taught men, boys don't cry, and you know, so macho, and you know, we got to put on this front of being hard and tough. And really,
if you ask me, that's not the case.
Self-damaging, isn't it, Corey? Yes.
Yes, it is self-damaging. It's like what I used to do as well. I won't lie. I've not been the most honest person and stuff in my life. We've all done bad things. But when I come to a term when I realised, wait, what if this is me? And I'm blaming everything else for me. Then when you build up the courage to say, right, that was me, you start to realise, right, how am I going to stop this from doing again? And you know, you start to feel better. Not at first, but then you start to realise, right, instead of blaming the world and acting like I'm innocent, how about I come to the realisation, right, these are my problems. These are not for the whole world to have. So I've got to work on these. Or it's one of them. It's either, they say make or break. So you either make something out of yourself from the dark and then find the light, or you're going to break, which I honestly, I would wish on no one, because I don't want anyone to break. Like, I've seen stuff in my life that isn't nice. Like,
yeah, and it's on the dark side, isn't it, Corey? You know, it gets dark and mucky and scary. And, you know, that dark side, you know, if you don't master it, because sometimes being in the darkness is good, because it means that when you come out of it, you see the light more. You're more stronger as a person. But if you don't master the dark side, it can start affecting your mental health. And this is what's happening in society, because they cannot see the darkness in their life. The mental health goes, and because we've been put underneath the carpet, oh no, I'm fine. Mental health. No, if I've got mental health, there's something wrong with me. I'm an alien or I'm an outcast, which is rubbish.
Yeah.
You're suffering with mental health. It's knowing how to deal with it and cope with mental health and see the signs and try and get help to come out of it. Because you know yourself, Corey, men don't like asking for help. But as I've gotten older, I've realised how important it is to ask for help.
I have also
mental coach, because that's what I do. So important now.
It is. It really is. Because I've realised, if you ask me, it's more society and the outlook of life that drives you to that really dark place, and that what causes mental health. You start to think, wow, I'm alone. I don't know how to get out of here. What am I going to do? What's the point? But I've been there before myself, and I realised that the reason I got so deep into my mental health and stuff is because I was comparing myself instead of loving myself. I was comparing myself to society, what I was seeing on social media, comparing to myself to life. And then I thought, this ain't really good. This is a bit toxic to myself, actually.
Escapism.
Yeah, escapism. That's what I used to. It's crazy. When I got out the mindset, though, I tell you what, I seen life so much better. I could look on social media and think, well, that's not me, though.
You feel freer, don't you, Corey? You feel a sense of taking them shackles of your hand and your legs.
You broke the chains.
Yeah, you know, you're free again. You know, you're this amazing person. You know, and that's amazing, Corey. Thanks for sharing that. I really felt a connection with you there, that you've been to that dark place. And, you know, it's important to experience the darkness and experience them kind of sadnesses and them suicidal thoughts, what we've all been through and stuff, you know?
The reason it's good to have that to look back on is because it's then you realise what you've done to get out of that place if you ever seem like you're falling back. But you also see, right, I don't ever want to go back there. This is a good feeling. I wasn't good then, so I'm gonna make sure I keep staying away from that dark place. And that's a mindset. I think it is hard to struggle, think like that with mental health, because like I say, I've been there. I used to doubt myself every day. I won't lie, and I have tried to, I've tried to commit suicide a few times, and do you know what? I'm so good. Literally last year, I had to get. It was 3 a.m. I think I don't know what it was. So I asked my friend about it. He said it could have been a subconscious possession, because what happened was, I don't remember actually doing it. I just remember waking up on the floor and my throat feeling tight. And then as I got on, I started remembering it. And after that, I will say, I realised, I was like, because the only reason it didn't happen is because the belt that I used snapped. But the reason I'm telling you this is because after that, I realised, it's like you say, you go through all this bad stuff, and you like you said before, you realise my life has more meaning. I am not meant to go yet. There's still a reason I'm still here. And that's when you want the deeper meaning in yourself. That's why you think there's more to life. There's more to myself. I can't be just a soul in this capsule. There's got to be a reason why I have, I'll be honest, I thought, why do I have this consciousness in this time frame and everything? I question a lot about myself, why
are you here? What is the reason?
Why you're here?
Yeah.
The deeper meaning you're talking about, that deeper meaning, you want to find it. And that's what I want. I believe my consciousness is here for a reason.
Thanks for sharing that. That was really powerful, because I've had suicidal thoughts when I was taking drugs. I was only 18, and I was in a bit of a mess. I was a bit of a junkie, at 18. And if I didn't have the strength of my family around me and my strength to get myself out of it, you know, yeah, I could have ended up dead. You know, so and you know, drugs have been a big part of my life for about 11 years. And then I managed, then I realised that I was getting fed up with it. It wasn't doing me any good. I was getting bored of it. People weren't respecting me, weren't respecting myself. My mental health started to be affected. I just had to change. And then I became a father. Then I changed my faith. And I settled down around the right people. And then life started to change. I started to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, that darkness coming out of it. And realising, you know, Frank, I've got to do it. And it's not easy, is it, Corey? It's not easy when society deems you as just a number or deems you just you're nobody, you know? So thanks for sharing them really deep kind of emotions out of what you've been through, Corey. I really admire your honesty and your courage and your bravery to share that, because people don't like to share stuff. It's too painful or it's too difficult. But I think sometimes the fact that you're here is amazing, because, you know, mental health, again, is to do with suicide. Mental health is the worst form of suicide, is the worst form of mental health, you know?
Definitely.
And we've got to address that, haven't we, Corey? We've got to talk about it now, what we're doing now. We've got to be open about it. And people like me and you, we've got to encourage people to say, look, we're amazing people and our life lives on into eternity. We are amazing people and species what live on into eternity, into the afterlife. And I honestly believe that. So us as role models, we've got a lot to tell people. We've got
definitely.
And everybody wants to hear the story. And I believe that Cody's got a great story to tell. I'm writing my book, The Wise Entrepreneur, Growing Pains. And that's coming out in the next couple of months. I'm really excited about that. I do some children's books as well, which I'm really excited about teaching children to be you and to be leaders and to be entrepreneurs and to be great people. And I'm doing that around fruits. So I'm really excited about my books, what's coming out, and the future. You know, I feel I've got a lot to offer and a lot to tell people. And I want people to tell their story. I want people to express their pain, their suffering, their sorrow, their sadness, their grief, their frustration in life. You know, because there's a lot of people, Corey, suffering in the world. And people like me and you may be able to help them or inspire them to do something great or get them out of that depression. So thank you so much, Corey, for sharing everything about your life. I really appreciate you on this platform. Corey, have you got anything you want to say to our viewers? Have you got any inspirations? Have you got any albums coming out? Have you got any information where people can contact you? Because you're a great guy with people who want to know a bit more about you.
Yeah, a few things I'll tell you. My Instagram, if you want to follow me, is a.c_99. The a.c_999. If you want to add me on Facebook, Corey Woollam, COREYWOOLLAM for mother. And music-wise, the video that I've done, I'm gonna bring a part 2 out to that. But also got I've got on SoundCloud within the next 2 weeks. I've got a feature coming out with my friend, and that it'll be on SoundCloud only though, I'm afraid. But if you use SoundCloud, I'll just type in anonymously and you'll find me on there.
I like that.
Also, a word of advice: if you're going through mental health and stuff like that and you're in a really dark place, don't brush your problems under the carpet. If you really need someone to speak to, please reach out. Don't let them burdens eat you alive. Don't let your demons take over. Become the master of your mind and don't become the slave of it. Because
I love that. Be the master of your mind rather than let your mind master you, Corey. Corey just said that in an amazing way. And what an amazing story. He's just said something there, very powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Please take that on board. Corey is a living example of a great guy. He's been courageous enough to follow his dreams and transform his life. So Corey's an example to say we can do anything we want to achieve if we really put our mind to it. Thank you so much, Corey. You've been very inspirational, my dear friend. I'm really
Thank
happy
you.
that you're part of my life. You're a good friend of mine. We've worked together and we know that we know each other very well. So thank you
Yeah,
so much,
same
Corey, for
goes.
sharing your darkness and the way you come into your lightness now, and all the benefits and the, you know, the greatness what you're going to do in the world. I can feel you're going to be a great man, and I appreciate you. So thank you so much for
Thanks.
coming on my YouTube channel, Corey. I really appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. If you like this video, subscribe, leave a comment, please. Corey's details will be below this description on the YouTube channel, so you can always plug into Corey, and I'll promote him on my site as well as a great guy. So thanks again, Corey. I appreciate you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Warmest wishes to you all. Take care and keep speaking up for what you believe in. Follow your dreams. Thanks again. Cheers, Corey. You're top guy. Thank you, mate.
Thanks for having me, Frankie.
You're
Take
welcome,
care.
pal. Cheers, pal.